Hello everyone, it's Rachel here at Clarty Hands Crafts. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create extra journaling space with a top and bottom flip out and a tie closure to keep it shut. To start with, you will need 2 pieces of sturdy paper or light card and cut it to a size that will comfortably sit within the borders of the page and will reach to about halfway up or down the page. It shouldn't matter too much if you leave a small gap in the middle or even if you overlap the flaps slightly. Once you're happy with the size, you can round the corners that will meet at the middle. My camera had stopped filming without me realising, and I missed the bit where I showed how I scored the flaps. I made a score line at 1 centimetre from the bottom edge of the bottom flap and from the top edge on the top flap. Once you've done this, you can ink the flaps if you wish, and I inked mine on the outside and the inside using vintage photo distress ink. Apply glue to the 1 centimetre scored edge, being careful not to use so much that it squidges out when you press it down, but also make sure that there's enough glue for a strong hold. Stick the flaps into place. You might find it useful to use paper clips or something to hold them in position while the glue dries, but I didn't have any to hand at this point. I was too lazy to go and find them. I am sorry about my extra long sleeves in this video, but it was freezing cold, so I needed to keep myself warm so that I could actually feel my hands while I was working. When the flaps are dry, you can open them out and then measure the space in between them. This step might not be needed if the page that you're working on is already suitable for journaling. You might also decide that you would prefer to hide pockets behind there or a little notepad made of scratch paper instead of a big writing space, but that's what I decided to do in this particular one, so I've cut down a piece of paper to fit those dimensions. And then if you would like to, then you can round the corners using a corner rounder punch, and then it should be the perfect size to fit in there. A really light coating of glue will stop this from wrinkling up too much when you place it down, especially if you're using a thinner paper like I am here. And this is some tea stained paper, so it was already had a slight wrinkle to it. Next, cut 2 small circles from scraps of card. Add ink to the edges to create dimension and to make it easier to see where to wrap the string. Use a piercing tool or a needle to poke holes through the centre of each button. You can layer one on top of the other to make sure that you get them both in the same spot, and then pierce corresponding holes into the flaps once you've decided a suitable position for the closure buttons. So you'll need one in the top flap and one in the bottom. Use split pins or brads to attach the circle shapes to the flaps. Open the legs out on the reverse side and try and get them as flat as you can. Cut 2 more circles to hide the back of the pins. They can simply be glued over the top. I used thinner paper so that they would seal around the pin legs and make them less likely to come off. I inked those as well and then used loads of glue to keep them down. Tie a piece of embroidery floss or string or wool around one of the card buttons and secure it with a knot. Then tie a knot in the end of the string, and this will make it easier to grip. Trim down the tatty edge with a pair of scissors, and that will just give it a nice neat finish. And now you've got enough string to tie around in a figure of 8. You can make this string as long as you want, but I recommend at least having it enough to tie around twice. I think I did 3 times here. The flaps on this kind of page can be used for more writing space, or you can add pockets and tuck spots to them as well if you want more storage space. I hope you like this simple idea. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time for another video. Bye!